7 miles apart, there's still a chasm between the warring princes. There they are with their article. And I'll show you just inside this map I was looking at, because they've done quite a clever map where they look at the two, just here. Let me hold that really steady for you. They look at the two princes and just how close they came to each other without meeting yesterday. So we'll take some calls on whether this is getting silly now. And we're asking if Prince Harry and William need to get together. So Harry's in Britain. He travelled to Windsor Castle yesterday to lay a wreath on the grave of his grandmother, the Queen, on the 3rd anniversary of her death. At the same time, Prince William was on an official visit nearby to the Women's Institute in Sunningdale, which the Queen was a proud supporter of. They were just 16 minutes away from one another at one point. They could have paid their respects together, but there doesn't seem to be a plan for the two to meet up at any point. Would you have wanted that to happen, Nina?
Well, it should happen at some point, but I think William is so intransigent, it won't happen. I mean, he's the big stumbling block, as is the king.
Is he right to be angry with his brother?
You know, brothers are always warring in some way or other. And what happened to Harry, as opposed to what William perceives as the slights that he's had to take on board, has been a far greater injustice.
Because they could, I mean, there's obviously a lot of stuff, isn't there, that's hit the fan between them. And you could just say, look, we've got to forgive all of it. We've got to start again.
I don't understand what the incentive is for William to have to do that. I mean, I think I probably speak for, I'd like to think, the majority of the public when I say I actually couldn't care less. And it's
I think you do, because when I see Google searches, they are dominated by Harry and William and even Princess Diana.
Young people don't care. I mean,
maybe it's young people.
It's your
but I just
age,
think it's a soap opera involving people that don't really. I don't understand the celebrity around the royals. I mean, I'm a royalist in constitutional terms, but I don't care what Kate's wearing. I don't care what Meghan's cooked on her latest Netflix show, and I don't care about what William and Harry think about each other. They all need to get on with the job as far as they have one. But if you force me to pick a side, I think Harry's been a selfish child for many years. I mean, just most recently going on an American interview and speculating about his dad's health in public was crass and rude. And I think it requires an apology from him for his behaviour over the last few years, but I don't think we're going to get one, because he's been so indoctrinated by this sort of mental health speak that they give in therapy clinics in California. But he doesn't.
We as a nation have been indoctrinated by what the palace, King Charles's court and William's court as well have put out, and the right-wing press have colluded with this initially to drive Harry and Meghan out, and then to keep them.
But why didn't leave that aside? When the Queen was alive, she invited Harry and Meghan to Christmas. This is the most famous woman in the world, and she's your grandmother, and she's the great grandmother of your children, and they didn't go. And I've never understood. She's clearly not going to be alive for that much longer. It was, as it turned out, her last Christmas. Why would you go and visit her grave if you don't visit her when she's alive?
No, I mean, I'm not aware that they turned down a visit.
They did.
I'm not aware that they did.
They missed out. Well, but there's so much just static. They probably didn't want to spend time. Probably Meghan said, look, we're not going to be there at Christmas because Andrew's around.
There's the security aspect apart from anything else.
Yes, true.
Meghan is the most hated, the most reviled woman.
That's very unfair
on a daily basis.
Certain others.
Yeah, no, seriously. On a daily basis, at least the two stories a day in the Daily Mail, hammering away at Meghan. If you read Andrew Lowney's new book, which Andrew was on your show, entitled about Andrew and Fergie, you will never, ever criticise...
I can't wait to read it.
You will never criticise Meghan again, because Fergie's... It's jaw-dropping. And, you, as a young person, do not revere the royal family, but they've always been held up to us as the ideal family.
Well yes and no. I mean, they've been getting divorced and having affairs for so long.
But that book starts with something jaw-dropping.
I just want to show a clip.
Prince Philip had an affair with Fergie's mother, for heaven's sake.
No.
That's the almost
I
the
want to
first
just
sentence of the book.
I just want to show this clip. Prince Harry was attending the Well Child Awards. He was filmed speaking with a teenager called Declan about sibling rivalry. Have a look.
Have you got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I've got a younger brother.
Younger brother.
He's 14 at the minute, turns 15 next month.
Does he drive you mad, or does he not?
No, we get along fine. We're like friends.
I love the correction. You know what, siblings?
Yeah.
You're not the same school.
Yeah, we are.
You're the same school as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
That sometimes makes it more challenging.
Yeah, his friends are more annoyed than him, actually.
Oh, really?
So it was interesting because he was sort of suggesting that, oh, you've got a brother, do you get on? As if not getting on with your brother was sort of a normal situation. And the young lad there saying, yeah, we're good friends.
It sounded to me like he was trying to get a certain response to make a dig that didn't pay off properly.
Well, I think he was expecting you to say, oh, no, we're always arguing.
Yeah, and then he go, oh, me too.
Yeah, and
But
he
it didn't
say,
pay off.
David's in Hampshire. Should the two of them make up? Because this is getting silly, David.
Well, yes, I think it's all about William, really. I think he's the one that hasn't been able to say how he feels because of his future. And Harry can do what he wants. He can say what he wants because he's in that situation that he can do so. I think there's a certain amount of envy there as well because of that fact.
Well, of course, Harry wrote a book called Spare, so he couldn't have been more open about it, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm more concerned. Personally, I respect Harry. I think he's great. But William, he's tied. He can't say what he really
He's on
feels.
the job. Yeah.
He can't really say what he feels about Camilla, whereas Harry has.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. If you were going for a drink with one of them, who would you choose?
Harry.
Who would you choose?
Thank you. Oh, Harry.
Who would you choose?
William.
The thing
Does
is,
Harry drink, or is he all just on
for heaven's
smoothies
sake.
these
He'll
days?
be under the table.
I watched the television last night. They split the screen. They showed Harry at his Well Child charity, and they showed Kate and William at the Women's Institute. And incidentally, it was only supposed to be William going. At the last minute, Kate said she wanted to be there. That's because they realised that Harry, if Kate wasn't there, would get the headlines. And you watched Harry. The royal family really needs him. His interactions with people, he's so natural and friendly and warm. And Kate
I think
and William...
he misses this country.
Kate and...
Hang on, let's take a pause because we'll talk a bit more about this. We're going to ask if... Are we going to talk more about this? Maybe not. We're going to move on. So let's conclude. Go on. Say what you're going to say.
I was just saying, the royal family needs Harry. Harry doesn't really need the royal family.
Christian? Other way around.
No, I think it's the other way. I think Harry misses Britain. I think, frankly, over the coming years, he'll start to regret, being so badly persuaded away from his home and his family by Meghan Markle over a ridiculous reason.
He was pushed out.
He was the nation's sweetheart and he decided to run away.
No, he was pushed out because he was the nation's sweetheart, if you like to call him that.
We'll see
he was more popular than Kate and William, and that could not be allowed.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sussex's Unplugged. Now, let me just say, if you thought the royal drama was cooling down, think again. Because apparently 2 grown men can live 7 miles apart, yet make it seem like they're on opposite sides of the planet. That's right. Prince Harry and Prince William were practically neighbours for a hot minute, and still they managed to avoid each other, like 2 kids fighting over the last PlayStation controller. But while the media keeps milking this royal feud, like it's a Netflix series, let's unpack what's really going on, and why Harry continues to shine no matter how hard the British tabloids try to drag him down. So, here's the setup. Harry flew into the UK to honour his late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, on the 3rd anniversary of her passing. A private, emotional visit. Meanwhile, William was nearby, just 16 minutes away, doing official duties at the Women's Institute in Sunningdale. Now, you'd think the British press would treat this as a touching moment. 2 brothers honouring the same woman they both loved. But nope, The tabloids saw it as an opportunity to fuel their favourite soap opera. The Prince and the Spare, the never-ending grudge. They even pulled out maps, like it's a military operation. Look, everyone, they were this close. As if proximity automatically equals reconciliation. By that logic, every ex-couple walking past each other at Tesco should get back together. And then came the usual suspects, TV pundits acting like therapists with microphones. You know the type. Harry needs to apologise. Harry's been selfish. Harry should stop talking about his feelings. Excuse me, what decade are we living in? The man's advocating for mental health awareness, honesty and healing, but somehow that's crass. Yet when certain royals leak stories to the press about their own family members, that's just PR strategy. Please, let's be real. The only people who need to apologise are the ones who've turned private pain into public entertainment. These talk show warriors love pretending they don't care about the royal drama, yet they spend entire segments gossiping about it. Honey, if you're timing how far apart two brothers were, you definitely care. And of course, no royal conversation is complete without dragging Meghan Sussex into it. They call her reviled, while ignoring how she's been relentlessly hounded by the tabloids every single day. There's always some headline blaming her for the weather, the economy, and apparently the brothers not hugging it out. One guest even said, "Why visit the Queen's grave if you didn't visit her at Christmas?" As if Meghan and Harry weren't dealing with toxic media attacks, security issues, and the small detail of being unwelcome by certain royal members. It's like inviting someone to a dinner where they're the main course and then being shocked they didn't show up. Let's be clear, Harry wasn't dragged away by Meghan. He was pushed out by a palace machine that couldn't handle the fact that people genuinely liked him. Harry had charisma, compassion, and an actual connection with the public, qualities that certain folks found a little too threatening. Meanwhile, Harry continues doing what he's always done best, connecting with real people. His visit to the Wellchild Awards showed exactly why he's missed in the UK. He spoke with children and families with warmth and humour. One moment stood out, his chat with a young boy about sibling rivalry. It was genuine, sweet, and yes, maybe a little cheeky. That's the thing. Harry's human. He doesn't hide behind protocol or palace scripts. He laughs, he listens, and he leads with heart. And that's precisely what makes him the people's prince, whether certain royal courtiers like it or not. Now, some commentators claimed Harry needs the royal family more than they need him. But let's flip that. Who brings in global attention, genuine emotion, and a sense of modern relevance? It's Harry. Without him, the royal brand feels more like a museum exhibit than a living institution. Harry doesn't need the firm needs him. And let's not forget, this man built the Invictus Games, championed veterans, and stood up for mental health before it became trendy. He's living his truth, loving his wife, and raising his family in peace. That's not weakness, that's growth. So, what do you think? Should the brothers finally sit down and talk? Or is Harry better off keeping his peace and his boundaries? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you're tired of the one-sided royal nonsense and want the truth told with heart and humour, hit that subscribe button and tap the super thanks to support the show. Every bit helps us keep Sussex's Unplugged real, independent, and unapologetically pro-Harry and Meghan. Until next time, keep your crowns polished and your facts straight. See you in the next one.